So you've been dabbing and dabbing, taking glob after glob, and now your rig is starting to fill up with reclaim. Do you do anything with that? Do you clean it out? Do you save it for later? Do you have any cool stuff that you can make out of reclaim? For those of you that don't know, there's actually a lot of stuff that you can do with reclaim. Sure, you can dab it again, but the dabs are probably going to be trash. Now, I do want to start by saying there are varying qualities of reclaim. Some people have really, really high quality reclaim, and some people are just burning their dabs and they have this black tar looking reclaim that nobody should ever want to think about doing anything with. But some people are dabbing full melt 6-star hash at low temperatures, and their reclaim might be better than the dabs that you're picking up off the plug every single day. So what is it and what can you do with it? Before we go any further, YouTube just removed my video yesterday. They're getting weird with the restriction. I don't have a lot of hopes for getting approved on monetization, which I think I'm going to apply for again today. So if you want to support me directly, go subscribe to me on Twitch. It only costs $5, or you can get a free subscription with Amazon Prime. So what is reclaim? Well, when you dab, if you're dabbing at a proper temperature, you're creating vapor, not smoke like when you're smoking a bowl. You create a vapor instead, and as that vapor cools down going through your glass, going through the water in your rig, it will recondense into a solid again. That solid is the same wax that you were dabbing, minus a lot of the terpenes and some cannabinoids. Terpenes have lower boiling points, so those are the first things to go when you start vaporizing. Reclaim qualities can vary, so depending on the temperature you're dabbing at, you can have a higher or lower quality reclaim with more or less cannabinoids in it. So essentially, it's like a shit version of the wax you were dabbing. It's like the mids version of what you were already dabbing. Your reclaim and the dabs you were dabbing is the guy she tells you not to worry about. But still, not everybody's reclaim is the same level of worse than their starting dabs. If you're dabbing really, really hot, if you're doing glowies, if you're dabbing lower quality wax at a higher temperature, you can have like really bad reclaim. I used to do really hot dabs and my rigs would fill with like dark black reclaim. You don't want to do anything with that. But for some people that have really high quality reclaim, there's a few things that you can do with it. Smoking it and dabbing are some of the first options that people come up with. But I mentioned before, it's not going to have a lot of flavor. You got all the terpenes out already. But it still has that high THC content. So some of the better things that people can do with reclaim is make it into edibles or topicals. And because your reclaim was already vaporized, it was actually decarboxylated in the process. So it's already ready to get you high. Some people put theirs in capsules, little gel caps. You can mix it with like coconut oil, olive oil or something, but put it in capsules and you can swallow them or eat them. Some people make their reclaim into topicals. Nothing that they're going to ingest or consume, but something that they can rub on their skin. They got a little pain on their elbow. Make it into a salve. So there are a lot of ways to reuse your reclaim. There are varying qualities of it, like we mentioned. And sometimes the reclaim isn't even recondensed vapor. It's just melted wax that didn't get a chance to vaporize. I think we've all seen somebody hit a nail and they're just pulling on it too hard and you see wax going down the stem. Sometimes that doesn't vaporize and it just goes into your reclaim catch, your drop down into your rig or wherever somebody collects it. And that actually was just melted wax. That's higher quality than the recondensed vapor where you probably lost a majority of your terpenes. But for me, for the most part, I don't do anything with my reclaim. I clean my pieces every day, so there is no reclaim saved or stored up. I kind of think it's gross just collecting it over days or weeks, and that's just reclaim sitting in there exposed to the air, and I'm supposed to use it later. I don't like the idea of reclaim because that means I'm just dabbing through a dirty little drop down that's just filling up with wax over and over again just so I can use that. Or I'm dabbing through a dirty rig waiting for it to build up so I can use the reclaim. I clean my pieces every day, so there's like nothing in there. So for the most part, it's safe to use. You can smoke it, you can vape it, but it's preferred. I recommend that you make a topical or an edible out of it instead, just so you're not re-vaporizing that. Because if you're dabbing too hot, your reclaim isn't just going to be recondensed vapor. There's going to be added carbon and stuff in there if you're dabbing too hot. So dabbing that again is just going to make it worse. So I personally recommend cleaning your piece every day and not fucking with reclaim. But if you like to collect it, look into some topicals, look into some edibles. Capsules are my favorite edibles, so I would just say put them in a capsule with some coconut oil and you're good to go. Don't forget to check out my Twitch streams. We go live after 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can give me Jeff Bezos weed money if you have Amazon Prime. And while I didn't really include reclaim on the tier list, I did make a list of all my favorite types of concentrate consistencies. Check this video out. I hope you have a lit day, my dudes.